The first alien ship appeared above Earth without warning. It did not fire weapons. It did not send threats. It simply arrived and stayed still in the dark space above the planet. Many people expected panic. Many alien watchers expected chaos. Neither happened. Across Earth, people watched the sky on screens and through telescopes. News spread fast, but it did not turn into fear. Some people were scared, but many were curious. Governments did not give one loud answer. Leaders argued with each other. Scientists asked questions. Citizens spoke online, in homes, and in public halls. There was noise, but it was not madness. It was discussion. The Galactic Federation had watched many worlds before. When they arrived, most species reacted the same way. Some bowed in fear. Some attacked in anger. Some begged for help. Earth did none of these things. Humans talked. Inside the alien observation vessel, the watchers studied screens filled with human faces. They saw leaders disagree in calm voices. One leader suggested cooperation. Another warned about danger. A third said they should wait and learn more. No one was arrested for speaking. No one was silenced. This confused the aliens. Their own system was built on control. When the Federation spoke, worlds listened. Orders were given. Obedience followed. Debate was rare and often punished. But on Earth, debate was normal. Captain David Miller stood on the bridge of Earth's main orbital station. He was a calm man with tired eyes. He had seen wars and disasters before, but this moment felt different. He looked at the large screen showing the alien ship. "They're watching us," he said quietly. No one answered him right away. The crew around him worked at their stations. Some were nervous. Some were excited. None were frozen in fear. The alien ship sent a message soon after. It was short and cold. It said the Galactic Federation had discovered Earth. It said they wished to study humanity. It gave rules. No human ship was allowed near the alien vessel. No weapons were to be aimed at it. No attempts to enter alien space were allowed. The message did not ask for agreement. It assumed it. On Earth, the response was slow. This was not because humans were weak. It was because they were thinking. Some leaders wanted to obey fully. Others wanted to refuse everything. Many wanted to talk first. The delay surprised the Federation. Other worlds answered within minutes. Earth waited hours. During that time, people argued on screens across the planet. A teacher spoke about fear and history. A farmer spoke about protecting the land. A young student asked why they should trust strangers in the sky. An old scientist reminded everyone that fear often caused mistakes. The aliens listened to all of it. They had expected disorder. Instead, they saw balance. Captain Miller joined a meeting with other station leaders. They spoke in simple words. They shared worries openly. No one pretended to know everything. "We don't attack," Miller said. "Not now." "And we don't kneel," another officer replied. They agreed on a careful path. Earth would answer the alien message. The reply would be polite but firm. Humans would accept talks but not blind orders. When the response was sent, the Federation paused. The message did not contain fear. It did not contain threats. It said Earth welcomed communication. It said humans valued choice. It said any future actions must be discussed, not demanded. The Alien Council read the message many times. This response did not fit their records. Inside the observation vessel, alien analysts spoke in low tones. They replayed human broadcasts. They studied how often humans disagreed. They noticed something strange. Even when humans argued, they still shared information. They corrected each other. They admitted mistakes in public. On many worlds, mistakes meant punishment. On Earth, mistakes meant learning. Captain Miller noticed small changes. The alien ship adjusted its position. Sensors moved. The aliens were watching more closely now. Not just military systems but human behavior. "They're not here for our weapons," Miller said to his crew. "They're here for us." Days passed. No attacks came. No demands increased. Instead, more messages arrived. Questions. Requests for data. Simple tests of response time and behavior. Humans did not always answer the same way. Some answers were slow. Some were fast. Some came from governments. Others came from shared science groups. There was no single voice, but the answers still made sense together. This troubled the Federation deeply. Their system depended on clear chains of command. Earth had many chains, crossing and breaking and reforming. Yet the planet still functioned. The aliens quietly marked humans as unusual. Captain Miller spent long hours watching the alien ship. He noticed they rarely spoke unless needed. They did not threaten. They observed. It felt less like an invasion and more like an exam. One night, as Earth turned slowly beneath the station, Miller looked out at the stars. Humanity had always argued. It had always failed and tried again. He realized that this habit, often seen as a weakness, was now being judged by beings from another world. And they did not know what to make of it. Far above, the Galactic Federation began updating their records. Earth was no longer listed as a simple developing world. A new note was added. Species displays independent thought under pressure. For the first time in many cycles, the Federation felt uncertain. And uncertainty, they knew, was dangerous. The changes came quietly at first. The Galactic Federation did not announce punishment or anger. Instead, new rules appeared in calm messages. Trade between Earth and nearby systems was limited. Some materials were delayed. Certain flight paths were closed without clear reason. Human ships were told to wait longer for permission to move. The Federation called these actions standard procedure. On Earth, people noticed right away. Factories slowed as parts arrived late. Space stations adjusted schedules. Civilian pilots complained about longer routes. There was frustration but not panic. Humans had dealt with limits before. Shortages were not new to them. The Federation watched closely. On many worlds, limits caused fear and obedience. Trade pressure often broke unity. The aliens expected Earth to argue itself apart. Humans did argue. Governments blamed each other. Companies demanded answers. Citizens questioned leaders. News channels filled with debate. Yet beneath the noise, something steady continued. Engineer Emily Clark sat in a small control room on a lunar station. She studied a shipment delay report and sighed. A key part for power systems would arrive 3 weeks late. The delay could cause station failures if nothing was done. Instead of hiding the problem, Emily shared it. She posted the full plans online. She explained the problem in simple words. She asked for help, not permission. Engineers from many countries responded. Some suggested changes. Others shared older designs. A few pointed out mistakes in Emily's plan. Emily thanked them all. Within days, the station had a working solution. It was not perfect, but it was safe. The power stayed on. The Federation noticed. On their screens, alien analysts watched human networks light up with shared data. No central order was given. No single leader claimed control. Yet solutions formed. This made no sense to them. Meanwhile, pilot John Adams adjusted his flight plans. He flew cargo between Earth and the outer stations. The new Federation rules forced him to follow strict paths and time windows. Many pilots complained. John read every rule carefully. Then he followed them in ways the aliens did not expect. He chose slower routes that saved fuel. He combined shipments that were not forbidden, only uncommon. He used waiting times to repair ships and train new crew members. His flights arrived late but always complete. Federation observers flagged his actions. He is compliant, one analyst said. But inefficient, another replied. A third shook their head. No. He is adapting. Warnings from the Federation continued. Messages reminded Earth that cooperation would bring stability. Disobedience would bring consequences. The tone was calm, but the meaning was clear. On other worlds, such warnings caused leaders to silence debate and force unity. Earth did the opposite. Humans kept arguing. Some leaders wanted to give the Federation what it wanted. Others wanted to cut all contact. Many wanted to wait. No single voice rose above the rest. The Federation saw this as weakness. Yet despite the noise, ships still flew. Stations still worked. Food still moved. Medicine still reached patients. The aliens grew uneasy. They had planned these tests carefully. Trade limits. Travel delays. Soft pressure. It had always worked before. Systems either broke or bent. Earth did neither. Captain David Miller watched reports from orbit. He saw the strain on crews. He heard complaints. But he also saw cooperation forming in quiet ways. "They're testing us," he said to his first officer. "Yes," she replied. "But I don't think they understand how we work." The Federation increased the pressure slightly. Travel approvals took longer. Some warnings became more direct. They expected protests to turn violent. They expected order to collapse. Instead, humans adapted again. Local production increased. Old technology was reused. Shared repair hubs formed across borders. Mistakes were common, but they were discussed openly. When a station lost power for a short time, engineers shared the failure report publicly. The aliens studied that report in detail. On their worlds, failure reports were hidden. Punishment followed mistakes. On Earth, mistakes were lessons. Emily Clark joined a shared call with engineers she had never met. They spoke different languages, but the data was clear. They disagreed often. Sometimes voices rose. Then they laughed and moved on. An alien observer paused the recording. "Why do they not hide their errors?" one asked. "Perhaps they do not fear them," another replied. John Adams received a new warning during a routine flight. His route was now under review. He followed the rulebook again, but adjusted timing so that his ship trained 2 new pilots during forced delays. When the route reopened, Earth had more skilled crews than before. The Federation flagged this as unexpected outcome. Weeks passed. The test continued. Earth did not break. It did not submit fully either. It simply kept moving, slowly and unevenly, but forward. The Alien Council met to review the data. Charts showed rising cooperation under pressure. Adaptation curves climbed where fear should have been. "This species does not centralize under threat," one council member said. "They distribute." Another spoke softly. "Our methods may be strengthening them." Silence followed. Above Earth, the observation ship adjusted its orbit again. Its sensors focused less on weapons and more on communication networks, learning hubs, and shared workspaces. Captain Miller noticed the change. "They're getting nervous," he said. Below him, Earth continued its loud, messy, steady work. Humans did not agree on everything. They never had. But they kept choosing to move forward together, even without a single voice to guide them. Far from Earth, the Galactic Federation updated its notes once more. "Pressure does not cause collapse," the record said. "Pressure causes growth." For the first time, the Federation questioned its own rules. And that thought unsettled them more than any weapon ever could. The Federation changed its focus. Ships and trade had been tested. Now they turned their attention to people. Alien scientists were sent to watch human behavior closely. They did not land on Earth. They observed through shared stations, open broadcasts, and medical exchanges. They expected to find fear hidden beneath cooperation. Instead, they found something harder to explain. Dr. Michael Reed worked in a medical center near Earth orbit. Patients came from many nations. Some were soldiers. Some were engineers. Some were simple workers who had been injured during long shifts caused by new limits. Michael treated them all the same. He did not ask where they came from before helping them. He did not give better care to leaders or important names. When supplies were low, he explained the limits honestly. When he made a mistake, he wrote it down and shared it with other doctors. Alien observers watched his work closely. One day, a patient reacted badly to a treatment. The reaction was not fatal, but it caused pain and fear. On many Federation worlds, this would have ended badly for the doctor. Punishment would follow. Records would be sealed. Michael did the opposite. He stood in front of his team and explained exactly what went wrong. He showed the data. He accepted blame without anger. Then he asked for ideas. Other doctors spoke up. Some disagreed with him. One pointed out a missed sign. Another shared a similar case from years ago. They argued, but no one shouted. The patient was treated again, safely this time. The report was shared openly across Earth's medical networks. The Federation flagged this behavior. "Why is there no penalty?" one alien scientist asked. "Perhaps the penalty is learning," another replied. Across Earth, humans continued to fail in small ways. A power system overload caused a brief blackout. A cargo schedule collapsed due to bad planning. A research project produced the wrong results. Each failure was discussed in public spaces. People complained. Some blamed others. Some defended themselves. But the information stayed open. Slowly, solutions formed. New methods replaced old ones. Progress continued, uneven but real. The aliens compared this to their own systems. On Federation worlds, failure caused fear. Fear caused silence. Silence stopped learning. On Earth, failure caused noise. Noise caused discussion. Discussion caused improvement. Dr. Reed joined a shared meeting with doctors from different regions. They spoke different languages but shared the same data. They did not always agree. Sometimes they argued strongly. Then they adjusted their plans and moved on. Alien scientists watched the recordings again and again. "They do not wait for approval," one said. "They do not fear disagreement," another added. The Federation tested rewards next. They offered special access to certain groups. Faster trade. Better data. Priority travel. The response confused them. Some groups accepted. Others refused. Many shared the benefits anyway. When one research team gained early access to alien medical scans, they published the results openly instead of keeping them. The Federation expected competition. They found sharing. Dr. Reed received access to new alien medical data. He used it to improve treatments, then shared his findings freely. He did not claim ownership. He credited everyone who helped. This behavior broke several Federation predictions. Reward does not create loyalty, an analyst reported. It creates distribution. The Alien Council grew quiet. They watched humans argue endlessly. About rules. About choices. About the aliens themselves. Yet these arguments did not stop work. They seemed to fuel it. Captain David Miller observed the changes from orbit. He saw new learning centers form. Shared repair docks opened. Training programs appeared without central orders. They're trying to understand us, he told his crew. Do they? Someone asked. I think they're struggling too, Miller replied. Alien scientists shifted their models again. Fear-based control failed. Reward-based control failed. Humans responded best when left free to choose. This frightened the Federation. Their entire system depended on predictability. Worlds obeyed because they feared loss or wanted gain. Humans obeyed nothing unless it made sense to them. Dr. Reed finished a long shift and sat quietly watching Earth turn below. He thought about how often people argued in his hospital. How often plans failed. How often they tried again. He did not think of it as strength. It was simply how humans lived. Above him, alien observers recorded another note. Species improves through shared effort, the file read. Central control ineffective. The Federation realized something important then. Humans could not be controlled the way others were. Threats did not freeze them. Rewards did not bind them. They learned because they wanted to. They worked together because it helped them survive. This realization spread through the alien ranks. Some felt fear. Others felt curiosity. A few felt respect. Dr. Reed treated his final patient of the day and updated his notes. He sent the report to open networks as always. He did not know aliens were watching his simple actions so closely. But those actions changed how the galaxy saw humanity. For the first time, the Galactic Federation faced a species that did not move by command. It moved by choice. And that made it dangerous in ways they had never prepared for. The Galactic Federation gathered in silence. Its council chamber was wide and cold, filled with soft light and floating data screens. The members had ruled many worlds for a long time. They believed in order. They believed in control. Now Earth challenged both. Reports filled the air. Charts showed human behavior under pressure. Instead of breaking apart, humans adjusted. Instead of obeying, they adapted. The data did not lie, but it did not make sense to the council. This species does not respond correctly, one member said. They respond too freely, another answered. The debate lasted many cycles. Some argued for stronger limits. Others warned that pressure had already failed. A few suggested withdrawal. None could agree. Their system depended on clear choices. Humans offered none. On Earth, life continued. Teacher Anna White stood inside a training hall on a quiet space station. Young crew members sat in loose rows. There was no strict silence. Some whispered. Others took notes. Anna did not stop them. She did not teach by command. She asked questions. What would you do if this system fails? She asked, pointing to a damaged engine display. Hands rose with different answers. Some were wrong. Some were risky. Anna listened to all of them. Try it, she said. The crew tested ideas. Some plans failed. Anna did not scold them. She asked why it failed. Together they adjusted and tried again. Alien observers watched the lesson closely. This is inefficient, one said. No, another replied. It is flexible. Across human space, similar scenes played out. Training programs changed. Rules were treated as guides, not chains. People learned how to decide, not just how to obey. When a small cargo station faced supply problems, local crews solved it without waiting for orders. They shared tools. They reused old parts. They asked for help openly. The Federation increased pressure once more. Travel windows shrank. Data sharing slowed. The move was careful, controlled. Humans noticed. Instead of protesting, many adjusted schedules. Meetings moved. Projects were delayed, then reshaped. Some plans failed and were dropped. New ones took their place. The aliens watched creativity rise where fear should have lived. Anna White received a message from a former student working on a remote station. A training module had failed during an emergency. The crew had argued, panicked briefly, then chosen a solution on their own. They survived. Anna smiled and shared the report publicly. Other teachers learned from it. Training improved again. The Federation Council reviewed the update. Pressure increases unity, one member said slowly. Control removes it, another added. This was dangerous knowledge. Captain David Miller observed Earth from orbit as new human ships prepared for long missions. They were not uniform. Designs differed. Crews trained in different ways. Yet all shared information freely. There was no single plan. There was resilience. The Federation attempted one final test. They sent a message warning that future support might be removed. No threats. No rewards. Just uncertainty. The response from Earth was slow and varied. Some leaders argued strongly. Some called for independence. Others wanted cooperation. There was no clear answer. But work did not stop. Anna White continued training crews. Engineers kept improving systems. Doctors shared lessons. Pilots adapted routes. People planned for uncertainty because they always had. The alien observers recorded the result. Uncertainty does not weaken them, the report said. It sharpens them. Inside the council chamber, silence fell again. The Federation faced a truth it had never considered. Their greatest tool, control, was useless here. Worse, it was harmful. The pressure meant to guide humanity was shaping it into something stronger, more connected, and less predictable. That frightened them. On Earth, no one celebrated. No one claimed victory. Humans simply continued living, arguing, learning, and choosing. Anna White ended her lesson and dismissed her students. They left talking, debating, laughing softly. She watched them go and hoped they would keep questioning everything. Above the planet, alien records updated once more. Species thrives without central command, the entry read. Further pressure not advised. For the first time, the Galactic Federation understood that they were not leading this encounter. They were reacting to it. And the quiet progress of humanity was changing the balance of the galaxy. The Galactic Federation made its final decision in silence. There was no announcement to the worlds under its control. No grand speech. Only a quiet change inside its deepest records. Earth's file was opened one last time. The category was changed. No longer a developing world. No longer a possible member. A new mark was added, one used only a few times in galactic history. Turning point species. The explanation was long but clear. Humans were not dangerous because of weapons. Their technology was average. Their ships were imperfect. Their strength did not come from force. They were dangerous because they chose. They chose to argue instead of obey. They chose to share instead of hoard. They chose to learn instead of hide failure. Fear did not freeze them. Rewards did not bind them. Control did not guide them. Choice did. The Federation Council studied the final data one last time. Pressure had made humans more united. Limits had made them more creative. Observation had revealed a system that could not be predicted or ruled. A decision was made. The observation fleets would pull back. Trade limits would remain light. No further tests would be applied. Earth would be watched but not guided. Not controlled. Above Earth, alien ships adjusted their course. Slowly, quietly they moved away. No weapons were aimed. No threats were spoken. The Federation had learned its lesson. On Earth, the departure was noticed but not celebrated loudly. News spread in calm reports. People argued about what it meant. Some felt relief. Some felt worry. Others simply went back to work. Humanity did not change its path. Lucy Green stood on the viewing deck of a deep space transport ship. She was young but her eyes were steady. Around her, the ship prepared for a long journey beyond known routes. The crew moved with quiet focus. Lucy watched Earth shrink behind them. She thought about the stories she had heard. About fear. About aliens. About danger. She did not feel like part of a dangerous species. She felt like part of a curious one. The ship's engines hummed softly. There was no conquest planned. No orders from above. The mission goal was simple. Explore. Learn. Return if possible. Other ships left Earth at the same time. Different designs. Different crews. Different plans. There was no single command. Only shared knowledge and open channels. The Federation watched from far away. Analysts observed human ships spreading into deep space, not as an army but as individuals. They shared maps. They shared mistakes. When one ship found danger, others learned from it. This behavior will spread, one alien scientist said quietly. Yes, another replied. And it cannot be stopped. Humanity moved forward without banners or demands. They did not claim worlds. They did not offer rules. They simply arrived, observed, and adapted. The Federation updated its future models. Human presence changed systems around it. Not through force but through example. Species that traded with humans began sharing more openly. Small debates appeared where silence once ruled. Mistakes were discussed instead of hidden. The galaxy shifted slowly. Lucy Green pressed her hand against the glass and looked at the stars ahead. They were quiet and wide. She did not know what waited out there. She did not need to. Behind her, Earth continued its loud, messy life. People argued, failed, tried again, built and rebuilt. No single voice led them. And that was the point. Far away, the Galactic Federation closed Earth's file. The final line was simple. Do not attempt control. Observe only. For the first time in its long history, the Federation admitted uncertainty. Humanity had not conquered the galaxy. It had changed it, simply by being itself.